Ever wonder why cars are like in-laws? No, it's not because they both have a knack for showing up uninvited. But think about it. They can be annoying, yet we can't imagine life without them. They both have their quirks, and they both always seem to know when we're in a hurry and choose that moment to act up. Picture this. You're all dressed up, ready for that crucial meeting that could potentially seal the deal of your lifetime. You hop into your car, turn the key, and nothing. It's like that one time your mother-in-law decided to drop by unannounced, just when you were about to enjoy a quiet evening with a good book. Uncanny, isn't it? Or how about when you're cruising down the highway, music blasting, wind in your hair, and then out of nowhere, your car starts sputtering. It's like when your father-in-law starts telling his war stories for the umpteenth time at the family dinner and you're left sputtering for a polite way to change the topic. And let's not forget the time when your car's AC decides to take a day off in the middle of a heat wave. It's almost as if it has a mind of its own, just like your in-laws who insist on controlling the thermostat every time they visit. But despite all these quirks, we still love our cars. They're our trusty companions, always ready to take us on new adventures, even if they do have their off days. Just like our in-laws, who, for all their idiosyncrasies, are still family. And at the end of the day, we wouldn't trade them for anything else. So, the next time your car breaks down, just remember, it could be worse. It could be your in-laws. Did you know that the color of your car says a lot about you? Or so they say. Picture this, a shiny red car zips by. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Speed demon, right? Yes, red cars are often associated with those who have a need for speed. It's like the color red is a magnet for traffic tickets. But hey, if you're willing to pay the price for an adrenaline rush, who am I to judge? Then there's the classic black car. If you're driving a black car, you're probably someone who appreciates elegance and sophistication. You might even be mistaken for a secret agent or a high-profile business tycoon. Just remember, black cars are like heat magnets in the summer. You might want to invest in some top-notch air conditioning, or be prepared to do the hot seat dance every time you get in. Now let's talk about white cars. They're for those who want to play it safe. White is seen as pure and clean, although I'm not sure how clean your car will stay if you live anywhere with dirt or birds. But hey, at least you'll be easy to spot in a snowstorm. And then we have the pink cars. Yes, pink, for those who are, well, unique. You're probably someone who's not afraid to stand out from the crowd, or maybe you just really like flamingos. Either way, you're definitely turning heads and making a statement. And let's not forget the silver cars. They're for those who want to look sleek and modern without attracting too much attention. Or maybe they just couldn't decide between black and white. It's like the Goldilocks of car colors. Not too flashy, not too dull, just right. So, if you're about to buy a new car, remember to choose your color wisely. You wouldn't want to give off the wrong impression. Ever wondered why some countries drive on the right and others on the left? Well, it's not because they can't make up their minds. Let's dive right in. Picture this. The year is 1600 something or other. You're a horse-drawn carriage driver in England. You're holding the reins in your right hand because, well, most people are right-handed. You're riding on the left side of the road so you can see oncoming traffic with your dominant eye. And voila! That's why the Brits drive on the left. Now flip the coin. In the United States, the wagons had a big old freight and no driver's seat. So, the guy in charge sat on the left rear horse, keeping his right arm free to lash the team. Naturally, he wanted oncoming traffic on his left so he could judge clearances better. And there you have it, American right-hand driving was born. But wait, there's more. In the early 20th century, Henry Ford decided to place the driver's seat on the left. That way, passengers could step out onto the curb instead of into the middle of the street. Seems like a good idea, right? Well, it stuck. And now the majority of the world drives on the right. Imagine the confusion when a right-hand driver visits a left-hand driving country or vice versa. It's like entering a parallel universe where everything you've learned about road rules is turned on its head. Roundabouts suddenly become a game of dodge the car, and don't get me started on the sheer panic of a left-hand turn. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. After a few near misses, wrong turns, and honks from annoyed locals, you'll get the hang of it. Just remember, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and when in England, for goodness sake, keep left. So, before you plan your next road trip abroad, make sure you know which side of the road you'll be driving on, or else you'll be in for a wild ride. Did you ever notice that cars come with ashtrays, but who actually uses them? Ah, the humble car ashtray. Once a sign of sophistication, of those long, languid, smoke-filled road trips of yesteryears, now it's a relic, a mystery, a conundrum wrapped in an enigma. nestled between your cup holders. In a world where smoking has been banished to the outdoors, the car ashtray is a bit like the appendix of the automobile world. It's there, but no one is quite sure why, or what to do with it. Well, some of us have found uses for them. In the modern age, the car ashtray has evolved from a receptacle of cigarette ashes to a handy-dandy storage unit. A pocket-sized Bermuda Triangle where coins, keys, and random bits of trash mysteriously disappear, only to be discovered during those frantic moments when you're late for work and can't find your house keys. Or perhaps it's the unofficial candy dish of the car, a place to store those mints and gum wrappers that you swear you'll clean out one day. And let's not forget its role as a loose change holder. It's like a miniature piggy bank, always there when you need a few quarters for the parking meter. But here's a thought. What if car manufacturers started getting creative? Instead of the usual hole-in-the-console design, how about a tiny bookshelf for all those parking tickets we're collecting? Or a built-in coffee maker? Now that's a car feature I could get behind. But let's face it, despite its obscurity and the confusion it causes, the car ashtray is a part of our vehicular history, a symbol of times gone by, and a testament to the evolution of our driving habits. So, the next time you drop a coin or a piece of trash into that little compartment, give a nod to the car ashtray. It's been there for us through thick and thin, holding our trash, our coins, and our secrets. So it seems that car ashtrays have become the junk drawers of our vehicles, who knew? Traffic jams, they're the bane of our existence, but did you know there's a lighter side to them? Let's start with a fun fact. The longest traffic jam in recorded history stretched for an astounding 60 miles. It occurred in France back in 1980. Imagine being stuck in that. You could have watched the entire Star Wars trilogy and still had time for a nap before the traffic moved an inch. Now we've all been late because of a traffic jam, but have you ever thought about the weirdest reasons traffic grinds to a halt? In Alaska, for example, it's quite common for moose to cause traffic jams. Yes, you heard it right, moose. Picture this. You're sitting in your car, sipping on your morning coffee, and a gigantic moose casually strolls past. Now that's a morning commute to remember. And then there's China, where a traffic jam once lasted for more than 10 days. Just think about that for a second. 10 days. You could have flown to the moon and back in less time. You know it's a bad day when your GPS says, you will reach your destination in 9 days, 8 hours and 37 minutes. Let's not forget about the time in England when a truck full of instant mashed potatoes overturned, spilling its contents all over the highway. The result? A mashed potato mess that brought traffic to a standstill. Talk about a carb overload. And what about the time a truckload of bees escaped in Delaware, causing a buzz on the highway? I'm not sure if that's a traffic jam or a traffic buzz. In the grand scheme of things, our everyday traffic woes seem a little less daunting, don't they? We may grumble about the occasional traffic snarl, but at least we're not stuck in a potato-induced gridlock or a moose crossing. So, the next time you're stuck in a traffic jam, just remember, it could always be worse. You could be stuck in a car with your in-laws. And that brings us to the end of our fun-filled journey through the world of cars. We've painted a colorful picture of car facts, left-hand driving curiosities, ashtray mysteries, and traffic jam humor. And before we go, here's a car joke for you. Why don't cars ever get lost? Because they always follow the roadmap. Before we put the brakes on this video, we want to make sure you're all buckled up for more car-themed fun. If you've enjoyed this joyride through the world of automobiles, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of car enthusiasts. We've got plenty more where this came from, so stay tuned for more unbelievable facts, curious cases, and lighter sides of everything car-related. And remember, your comments fuel our creativity. So let us know what you thought about this video in the comments section below. Until next time, keep your engines revving and stay curious.